After a night alone in the woods, a 14-year-old boy from Berthoud's on his way back to family tonight. He went missing yesterday in a remote part of Larimer County. Search crews found him today in the Rahway Wilderness. He's tired, dehydrated, otherwise okay.
9 News reporter Jennifer Meckles spoke to the crews who tracked him down.
Larimer County says a church group set out Monday with a group of kids and adults, trekking for miles into the Rahway Wilderness to set up camp for the week. Wednesday afternoon, 14-year-old Spencer Hallman wandered away from the campsite. Overnight, a helicopter tried to find the boy with thermal imaging and night vision. No luck.
This is right on the very northwest portion of our county. Our response time to there is about 2.5 hours.
Amy Ho is a volunteer with Larimer County Search and Rescue, one of several different groups that responded next, and spent all day Thursday searching by air, by ground, using drones, even a dog.
We do what's called attraction. We try to make as much noise as we can when we're out there. We use whistles and bells. The dogs all have bells on them, and then we have air horns. So I don't know whether he heard us or we heard him first.
Just before 2 p.m. Thursday.
Did you copy traffic? Subject has been located.
Search crews found Spencer about 5 miles from the West Branch trailhead.
We copied. We're with her.
Amy heard it as she monitored radio traffic.
It's always a pretty sweet moment when we find someone, especially a child, when we find them healthy and well, overheated, dehydrated, and tired from a night alone in the mountains. It's a pretty good sense of relief for us.
I'm here with him right now. He's eating a granola bar and having some water, so he's a little cold, but he's fine.
Rescuers brought Spencer back down the mountain on a Larimer County Sheriff's horse. The department says he was tired and dehydrated, but otherwise safe.
Today was a great ending. We got to bring a child back to his family.
Jennifer Meckles, 9 News.
Spencer's mom told us the family is, of course, relieved. They're ready to be reunited. They planned to meet back up at his church and then spend the night with other family. 1 year, 2 suspects, 11 stolen cars, just one string of cases in a year in which motor vehicle thefts skyrocketed in Colorado.
Kevin Vaughn from our 9 Wants to Know team takes us inside the case of a couple implicated in one auto theft after another and why the system is struggling to stop it.
I just wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Terry Finney never imagined
Please take your ticket.
that a weekend of fun
Flew to Phoenix, played golf for a couple days.
would end with this reality. While she was gone, 2 thieves stole her Audi, driving it out of Denver International Airport.
It's way worse than I ever expected that a stolen car would feel.
The next day, the thieves returned with her car, loading it with stuff they stole from other cars.
It's such a violation.
We went to Ohio to look at a Corvette.
A violation Renee Cramsey experienced the same weekend.
I go out and my car's not there.
Stolen by the same thieves and moved to another part of the airport.
I walked the parking lot for about 3 hours and I was like, oh my gosh, am I going crazy?
Finally finding her car.
He was going to drive.
And the thieves.
They were getting ready to pull out with my car.
There's a bunch of yelling going on and then they squeal the tires, go out of the airport.
The police arrived too late to grab the suspects, who fled in Finney's Audi. But detectives were onto them.
Yeah, this is going to be part of a pattern.
A pattern.
Get down on the ground now.
Broken days later.
Get on the ground now. You're under arrest for motor vehicle theft.
Partners.
You come out of that car slow, hands high.
Headed to jail.
Cease, we got 2 in custody.
Desiree Moyer and Jordan Isle were already suspected of stealing 5 cars. A judge set bond for each of them at $2,000. The same day, they walked out of jail.
Ugh, that makes me sick.
That first bust didn't slow down Isle and Moyer. Over the next year, they were linked to 6 more car thefts.
The cases went up in almost
led the nation per capita in auto theft.
Auto thefts are big news, and here's why. Consider Colorado. While our population is up close to 16% over the last decade, auto thefts are up 223%. To the point where, on average, every day, basically 100 cars are stolen.
I just feel like there's some problems with our judicial system.
The day they stole that pickup, Isle was still free on bond while his cases were pending. Moyer was on probation.
It makes me furious that she's on probation, that they bailed out so quickly, that they've reoffended.
folks are innocent until proven guilty.
G. Matthews is a former prosecutor turned defense attorney.
And folks are entitled to, oftentimes entitled to a bond as part of their constitutional rights.
Locking up everyone, it's just not possible.
You think about how many jail cells we have. You think about folks that commit domestic violence, folks that commit child abuse, folks that commit violent crimes, folks that use weapons. Who you letting out?
Still, there are limits. Isle reached his at Park Meadows driving yet another stolen car, carrying a wallet and credit card stolen in a car break-in. But as he wandered the mall with a buddy, using that stolen plastic, credit card alerts and a chip in the wallet led the owner to Isle.
And they just started grabbing me and ripping me on the ground.
Isle claimed that moments before fleeing, his buddy handed him the wallet and credit cards.
You grabbed the wrong person.
But the police weren't buying it.
Bro, you got his cards in your wallet.
That's one of the 3 cards that he handed me. Literally, they all were in his pocket.
So you took the time to put them in your wallet?
No,
they're
yes, in this first slit right here. They're all in a receipt in there.
That doesn't make any sense, bro.
Officers jailed him. Today, Isle's in prison, starting a 5.5-year sentence in one series of cases with others still pending, and Moyer's facing the revocation of her probation.
It makes me really sad. I mean, they're super young. 21-year-olds should be living life, going to college, getting jobs, playing sports, drinking beer on weekends, not stealing cars.
We need to look at the punishment for that, because I feel like there's maybe just not enough deterrent.
Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
Isle did not respond to a letter we sent him in jail. We were unable to reach Moyer. The current trend is not the only thing that's alarming people. In Colorado, about 1/3 of stolen cars are never recovered, and the FBI estimates that only about 1 in 8 auto theft cases is ever solved. Brighton police say they've arrested a 17-year-old boy tied to the murder of another teen in a park. The shooting happened around 9:30 Tuesday night at Ken Mitchell Park in Brighton. Police say witnesses heard people arguing before somebody shot 17-year-old Josiah Gonzalez. They say they arrested another teen at his home in Commerce City. They didn't share whether the teen had any connections to Gonzalez.
Republican Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters is a fugitive tonight. A warrant is out for her arrest for leaving Colorado without a judge's permission while she's facing felony charges for tampering with election equipment.
Tina Peters, come on up. Tina.
She wasn't super subtle about it. This is Las Vegas, Nevada this week at a conference where they were promoting false election rigging claims. She was kind of a star there. She spoke at the conference on Tuesday, showed off that letter to the crowd. It's a letter requesting a recount in her Republican primary for Secretary of State. She says she actually won. She lost the race by 88,000 votes. Peters told the crowd she's going to go get that letter notarized and send it to the Colorado Secretary of State's office. Well, bingo bango, that's how the Mesa County Republican DA found out that Peters had left Colorado, because she sent in that letter notarized from Nevada. This morning, a judge revoked Peters' bond at the DA's request. Peters' attorney told the judge it was actually his fault, that Peters had told her attorney about the trip a week ago, and it was the attorney who failed to notify the court. One way or the other, judge never gave permission for her to leave the state. Her attorneys are asking that the arrest warrant be tossed if she shows up in court as ordered tomorrow.
July is an impossibly difficult month for the families of those who were killed in the Aurora theater shooting. Next week will mark 10 years since the tragedy. Now a brewery in Aurora is helping one family take their minds off the challenges this time of year that those come with. There's a new beer. It's called AJ's Haze. Flowed out of the taps at Capital 6 Brewing this evening. It was brewed by the family of A.J. Boyk, who was killed during the theater shooting. His family worked with the brewery to create a beer so that the community could remember him and learn more about the life that he lived. His mom says it helps her cope with this great loss.
Every year I try to do a little bit to try and grow out of the pain, but this is really one of those big steps that brings something good into the darkness.
AJ's mother, Teresa, says she hopes brewing this beer will bring happy memories to people in a really difficult month. Proceeds from the beer go to the 720 Foundation, helping victims of the shooting. 2 years later, the Cameron Peak Fire's impact is still being felt, especially in our waterways.